Assassin's Creed. Ridiculous.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, dude? How are ya?
Pretty good, but I'm a little upset.
Why? What happened?
It's our anniversary, and you didn't even get me anything.
Dude, I've known you for years.
No, not our friendship. It's been 1 year since we started Fight Your Rival.
It's really been 1 year?
A whole year, dude.
Wow, time really does fly. So what do you want to do to celebrate? Happy anniversary, dude.
Thank you, finally. I mean, I thought it'd be cool to, go back, watch our first episode, relive the good times.
Well, before we do that, would you want to issue a Game Informer as a consolation prize?
Oh, great. I get to learn all about Thief.
Yeah, why not?
Awesome.
It's like the guy who stole my soul. But yeah, I think if we totally watch the first episode, we should do it big. We should watch it on my 360 on the big screen TV.
Let's do it right now.
All right, let's load it up.
Hey guys, welcome to Fight Your Rival. I'm the Tall.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to go over some topics that are really stressing the fighting game community.
Dude, this show sucks. Hey guys, welcome to Season 3, Episode 6 of Fight Your Rival. I'm Natal.
I'm Mike.
And we're not going to waste any time. Here you go, guys. Here's the Rushdown.
So it's an exciting week for all types of gamers. PAX East is kicking off this weekend in Boston, which is a massive gaming convention on the East Coast. And it's running from the 22nd to the 24th of March. It might be going down right now as you watch this video. But before the event, on March 21st, Mad Catz is actually hosting a bunch of really cool exhibitions for the fighting game community. The first of these is going to be Ryan Hart versus Mago in Street Fighter 4. We have Yipes versus Taquito in Marvel.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yep. And finally, the main event, Alex Valle versus Daigo, which is always a great match. It's the perfect way to close out any kind of exhibition. And what I really love about all these matches is that they're all international.
Yeah, I think it's great. USA versus Japan. And I'm assuming Alex Valle and Daigo are definitely playing Street Fighter 4, right?
I would assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 4, unless they decide to throw in Street Fighter Alpha for fun.
Or Cross Tekken.
Or Cross Tekken, you never know. But most likely Street Fighter 4. There's also a lot of good stuff for fighting game fans going down at PAX East. You actually play Dive Kick. So if you can't wait for the PS3 release or the PC release later this year, you can actually get your hands on it at the event, which is very exciting.
This is the first time we actually get to play the game since Final Round last year, right?
Yeah.
So come on, guys. It's been a while. Hopefully they have some of the Iron Galaxy treatment on it already, and they already have some extra stuff. Maybe they're trying to show off a little bit of what we're actually going to get. If you buy it for the PS3 or PC, definitely check it out, support it. Of course, PAX East isn't all about just fighting games. There's everything else as well. But the one game I'm hoping that people get to play out there is Injustice.
Yes.
The game is right around the corner, guys, April 16th. And if you guys aren't aware, there's actually some really new, interesting news for Injustice. They just announced Black Adam, which is Shazam's arch nemesis. And last week, they also announced Raven from Teen Titans, but the older one.
She looks really awesome.
And scary.
Yeah.
And Doomsday, everyone's favorite murderer of Superman. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited.
I can't wait. I mean, just speaking of the characters really quick, Raven looks like a female Ermac.
Yes.
Which
almost like a Viola mixed with Ermac, kind of.
Absolutely. Very interesting mechanics, and Doomsday just looks like an absolute beast.
Oh, yes.
I see a trend in Injustice. Everyone has a super that either takes you into space or, in Doomsday's case, just drives you through the earth.
It seems like either you're a hero or villain, your main objective is to reshape the planet to your liking in Injustice. I think they have that Smoke Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 syndrome where they just want to blow the planet up.
Which, there's nothing wrong with that. We all win in the end.
Yeah.
Super entertaining stuff. And in addition to new characters, there's actually a lot of interesting system mechanics. Shoryuken got a chance to sit down with the game pre-release, and NetherRealm actually broke down a few things that I'm surprised the game has.
Yeah. The one thing that I thought was really interesting was the stage select option.
Yes.
So you guys know out there that stage select is going to be very important because of the interactive backgrounds. Now at a tournament, let's say someone wants to play Wayne Manor and someone wants to play Fortress of Solitude, and you both don't agree on it, the computer will randomly choose either Wayne Manor or Fortress of Solitude. But if you two players both decide, hey, we want that Fortress of Solitude, you both agree, and then you will use that stage. That's pretty epic.
I think it's really awesome. It's a great way to balance out something that was going to be kind of controversial in the game. We're still not sure if NetherRealm's going to include any kind of vanilla stage for kind of the purists, but I hope they don't. I kind of hope people, embrace the interactive stages for what they are.
Well, they have the option to turn all the interactive aspects of the stages off.
Okay.
But the thing that I'm interested in is all the stages have multiple levels. So are you going to pull like a Street Fighter Cross Tekken where if I choose the interactive backgrounds off, I could choose which part of the stage I would like to play in since I'm only gonna play that portion without the interactive background.
That's very interesting. We'll have to see when the game drops. April
16th,
less than a month away.
Yeah, you guys still have time. So if you guys are watching this NetherRealm Studios, put that in the game because I would like to choose different portions of the levels. That would be pretty epic.
That'd be awesome. Now, as we mentioned before, the game is really going to appeal to more than just the Mortal Kombat crowd or the DC Comics crowd. NetherRealm is incorporating a lot of system mechanics that are going to appeal to fans of more traditional fighting games like Street Fighter, and a lot of that comes in the actual button commands themselves. Now, Mortal Kombat traditionally has a throw button, and similarly, Injustice is going to have a button dedicated to throwing, to interacting with the environment, and what's great is if you don't want to have those dedicated buttons, you can still throw Street Fighter style if you want, press your two lights, and things such as super moves, instead of doing it X-ray style, squeezing the triggers, you could kind of press certain three buttons in a sequence. So, just like we already talked about how NetherRealm's going to allow for the quarter circle motions and more Street Fighter style controls. It seems like they're taking that a step further. And there's also basically going to be an alpha counter mechanic.
Yes, which is pretty cool. So cool. I think that's going to help a lot. They need to. I mean, Mortal Kombat 9 has breakers, and if you don't have a breaker or alpha counter mechanic, those combos, it's going to be Marvel. You're just going to be sitting there filling a seat.
Yeah, watching combos. So it's very smart, especially in a game like Injustice where the combo engine looks completely wide open.
Yes.
Like anything looks possible in that game, so I'm glad they're really taking the right steps to balance it out.
Speaking of games with cool mechanics, Skullgirls is on the up and up still with their Indiegogo site. They finally raised enough money to get Big Band. We mentioned him a couple of episodes back, the guy who looks like Q who swallowed a saxophone. You can actually get him now in the game. So this kind of marks the first guy in Skullgirls.
Yeah, the first official male. I mean, there's tons of dudes in the background, but we'll finally have a playable male character in Skullgirls, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, and pretty ironic.
Very ironic.
Skullgirls, it should be called Skull People.
I hope they do a title update where it's Skullgirls and dudes written in the corner, scribbled.
That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, guys, we're getting two characters now. We got Squiggly, we got Big Band. It's all to you guys out there doing all the donations on their Indiegogo page. Let's see what else we could do. And actually, it's really weird. There's a possible cross-platform kind of
little bit of crossover between Lab Zero and Main 6, who are working on the not My Little Pony game.
Yes. If Skullgirls raises $750,000, their Lab Zero Games, the guys behind Skullgirls, is going to offer the engine over to Main 6 for their My Little Pony bestiality fighting game.
Yes. I think this is amazing. It's so great to see one independent fighting game developer offer to help out another one.
Yes.
It's great news for people that were looking forward to Fighting is Magic. As we said before, the game's finally back in production. It's not going to have My Little Pony characters, but still, it'll have whatever Pony-esque characters they decide to throw in, and it'll have the Skullgirls engine, which I think is a pretty damn good engine.
Like I said, I hope there's centaurs and giant bats and giant moths and stuff in the game. I hope it's really epic. And, it seems like an ongoing trend in the fighting game community, just in general, for companies to team up, partner up, help one another out. And if you guys remember last year, we had Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Now, we're all wondering where Tekken X Street Fighter is going to be. Next-gen consoles were already announced. Are they really going to make it for this gen, or are they really going to make it for next-gen consoles? And Harada actually mentioned that they are thinking, and if not, they already are. I know they are. They're steering towards the next-gen consoles for Tekken X Street Fighter.
I mean, he made a pretty, vague tweet in pretty broken English. Shouts to Harada. But he more or less said that at this point, it makes sense to just work on next-gen. And I'm totally fine with that.
Oh, me too.
We have plenty of fighting games to play, and I really, really want Tekken Cross Street Fighter to be good. I love Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but I want this game to come out of the gate swinging, not have to kind of, suffer through all these patches and all these DLC problems. So I think the game's going to be amazing, and I think it's even better that it's going to start on next gen.
Yeah, that's my biggest positive thing is that it's going to be next gen. We're going to finally get to see our first next gen fighting game.
Yeah, that would be great if that was the first. Yeah, that'd be very, very exciting.
Unless Girl Fight swoops in, and that's why we haven't heard about it in a while. And that's going to be the first fighting game next gen, and that'd be awful.
It's going to be a secret PS3 launch title. It's going to be better than anything.
No, It won't.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, start talking about PS4. PS3 Fighting fans still have some cool new stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, guys out there, whoever's still playing PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale, there was a huge update today. Rebalancing of the entire mechanics of the game. Don't ask me what it is, because I really don't care. But for you guys out there, you guys got a whole rebalance of the game, and you got 2 new characters. You got Zeus from God of War, and Chris Isaac from Dead Space. What's his
Isaac
name?
Clarke.
Yeah,
oh wait,
Clarke.
Chris Isaac is from...
No, Chris Isaac is the guy who's singing Wicked Games. I was just trying to be an asshole because I don't care about Dead Space's main character. So Isaac Newton from Dead Space, that's who you get. Sir Isaac Newton, that's pretty dope. You know, you could throw apples at people and kill zombies. So, yo, good job, Sony, for throwing all your money around and adding newer characters.
Yo, why not?
Where's Ezio?
Actually, while we're on the subject of PlayStation All-Stars, you know, it's cool, Zeus is in the game, the guy from Dead Space in the game, but a couple of diehard fans are actually petitioning to get Crash Bandicoot and Spyro in the game, which makes a whole lot of sense.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Those are the PlayStation characters that we grew up with. They're iconic, everyone loves them, and they're real PlayStation characters.
Yes, they are.
You know, the character from Dead Space, he's been everywhere.
No.
You know?
No.
And, you know, Zeus, yeah, God of War, it's cool, but he's not, you know, Spyro and Crash are like the Mario and Luigi, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go, Sony. You got more characters to build and more DLC for me to download for a game I won't play, but I will download your DLC.
Yep. So even with a bunch of new games and DLC coming out, we can't forget, a new game just dropped on the marketplace.
Yeah, it's technically not new, but it still is new. It's Darkstalkers Resurrection, and we reviewed it. And here you go, guys. Here's the Judgment Zone. Judgment Zone. So last week's episode, we briefly mentioned that Darkstalkers Resurrection came out, and we went through this whole Darkstalkers montage period piece. And now the game is here. We've had about a good solid week to play it. I mean, I myself have been playing the game since '94. I know you never really got a chance to play the games in their heyday.
Yeah.
So I want to get your opinion on it. Mike, what did you think of the overall gameplay mechanics to the both Darkstalker games that came out with the package?
Okay, so as someone who, you know, obviously I grew up with Capcom games, so I never got into Darkstalkers, a good chunk of the game was very familiar to me. It's got the classic Capcom 6-button layout, it's got chain combos, it's got throws. I really enjoyed... I'd say Darkstalkers 3 was the game that appealed to me more because of the fast pace, the fact that you don't have to wait between rounds, and the whole life bar mechanic. But overall, the game felt really good to me, and I just really enjoyed the way they wrapped it up in a really cohesive package. I played the game a lot online, barely had any lag. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it to anyone who even hasn't played the game before.
So you pretty much say, I haven't had a chance to do the play online at all, so the netcode is pretty solid.
Very solid. There might have been, in a week of playing, there might have been one match that was a little laggy. So the GGPO netcode was really done well. I mean, it's no surprise. It was really solid in Third Strike Online Edition, and it was very solid in Marvel vs. Capcom Origins. So you'll have a great online experience with this game, for sure.
And of course, you know, typical Iron Galaxy treatment, and just like the other 2 games that you mentioned, there are tons of unlockables. Tons. Typical concept art. They actually have, the one thing I think is really cool was, I don't know if you checked it out, you could look at the arcade cabinet.
Oh, I did,
and
yeah.
like spin around.
I love
and
that,
the intro
yeah.
to the game is playing while they're... Very cool. Very little subtle things that were really cool. And even though this isn't an unlockable, I consider it part of one of the extras in the game, is the tutorial trial methods in the game.
Yes, the trials in Darkstalkers Resurrection are incredible. For Night Warriors,
Yes.
Darkstalkers 2, the trial system isn't as in-depth. It's kind of just one-off challenges.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you do a move, you do a combo, you move on. But seeing as Darkstalkers 3 is the more heavily played game,
Yeah.
Iron Galaxy actually went through the trouble of creating a pretty comprehensive tutorial for each character.
Yeah, basically each character has their own dialogue within itself. They explain the combo to you, why you would use the combo, the importance of the combo, and you have to do it 5 times in a row, which I actually enjoyed. At first I was struggling, and I was like, I did it once, come on, don't make me do it 4 more times. But I'm glad they forced me to do it because, you know, like in Skullgirls or any other game that has a trial, you do it once, cool. Sometimes you do it on luck.
Yeah.
So this game is like, no, you're gonna do it. Like, eat your peas, finish your dinner.
Yeah, like you said, at first I was frustrated. I was like, really, I have to pull off this long combo, but it really paid off because one of the number one things in training in a fighting game is muscle memory.
Yes.
And you're not going to build that memory if you just do a combo and forget about it.
Yeah.
So really, you know, huge props to Iron Galaxy. You could tell the team behind the game was like hardcore fans, and they really knew their stuff. So that was a great feature. I really appreciated it. It helped me out a lot, and it was just a lot of fun to do.
So what's your overall verdict?
I strongly recommend buying it. I mean, for $15, you get 2 classic Capcom games. The only people I could see not wanting to buy it are maybe people who still play Vampire Savior at their local scene on emulators or whatnot, but I still think you should support the re-release. You get a lot of extra content between the unlockables and, like we said, the great trial mode. So I think you get a lot of content for your money, and just in general, I mean, even the Vampire Savior came out in 97.
Yes.
And even that game, in my opinion, holds up extremely well compared to today's fighters, so it's still a great game. There are tons of people playing online. I don't see myself getting bored of it. I recommend buying it. So what about you, Natal?
I agree with you. I personally haven't really played it that much because, like I said, I played the game growing up like an animal. It's just good for me in the sense now I can play people online. Haven't had a chance to do it, but the option's there now, and I could stop playing it on my Mac Mini and hoping that I could play with other people one day. So guys, if you grew up with it and you loved it, it's a no-brainer. If you're new to the fighting game community and Marvel Capcom 3 is your first fighting game, pick it up, know your roots, know where these fighting games came from, and it holds up. Like Andronico said, still to this day, it holds up to all the other games that are coming out. It's fast-paced, it's ridiculous, there's the X moves, the specials are out of control. Like, it's a really solid game, and, well, 2 games actually.
Yeah.
It's a really good complete package. So yeah, we both agree. Buy it.
Yeah. And quick side note, it's still at tournaments, so you might want to pick it up. If you're the competitive type, pick it up, train up, and compete with other people.
So that pretty much wraps up Judgment Zone, right?
I think so. I think it's time to head to Twitter for the tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week.
So, huge shout out to IFC Yipes. It was recently his birthday, and coincidentally, he's our first tweet of the week.
Yep.
And it's very birthday related. Basically, his girlfriend Persia made him a very special custom cake, and as you expect, it has the Magneto curly mustache head on it, and just a nice little touch.
Yeah.
You know, it's the perfect birthday cake for Yipes, the master of Magneto himself. Natal, has your girlfriend ever made you a cool game-related cake?
Yeah, actually, she did. Like, I think 2 years ago, my birthday, it was a really sad birthday. No one came to celebrate it with me, but that's okay. I wish death upon all, especially on my own birthday. But she made me a Spider-Man Green Goblin cake, and she made the Spider-Man head and Green Goblin head out of, like, sugar. Like, I guess that's what it was, and I didn't want to eat them, so I put them in the freezer, and then, like, 3 months later, I opened the freezer, they fell, and their faces shattered. So I was a little distraught, but overall, it was still a really epic cake. Shout outs to my girlfriend for making me epic cakes.
My girlfriend has yet to do that, so
There you go.
you gotta level up, you know.
Don't go to California for level up. You can do it here.
Yep.
So our second tweet of the week comes from Alex Jabali. If you guys don't know who he is, he's the guy who runs all the CEO tournaments, and he has some pretty interesting things to say.
Everyone knows Jabali is a pretty confident guy, and today he said, if all goes according to plan, CEO 2013 will be the breakthrough gaming event of the year. I bet everything I have on it. So not just fighting game event, breakthrough gaming event. And I pretty much believe him. I mean, he's got the backing of Microsoft. He's got some serious sponsors. CEO last year was incredible.
Yeah.
I saw him on Twitter recently considering getting an MMA cage instead of the wrestling ring, which I don't think he's going to go with, but the fact that he's thinking along those lines. But regardless of whether it's the breakthrough event of the year or not, CEO is definitely going to be great. I can't wait to see it. Hopefully, maybe we even head down there. We'll see.
Those are really big shoes to fill, especially since we got EVO this year. We got the Fall Classic this year, first annual Fall Classic.
Yep.
So, I mean, I love CEO. I was blown away last year. So, I just really can't wait to see what he has in store. So, he might be right. We'll just wait to see when CEO happens in June, right?
Yep.
June.
So, speaking of CEO, the big man himself, the CEO of Shadowloo, actually tweeted us today. Pretty honored.
If you guys are wondering what kind of collaboration we have with M. Bison, this is his tweet. At Fight Your Rival, I shall tune into your fine establishment. I am subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. # Tuesday, # FGC.
And I feel pretty ready to retire. I think we've reached the end goal.
I think this is just the beginning. Now we're going to have funding by Shadowloo for Fight Your Rival.
Those Bison dollars?
Oh, man, it's going to be sick. I want a hat. So, Bison, Twitter Bison, send us hats.
Vega mask, boxing gloves, eye patches, the works.
All of them. Give me a scar.
Yep.
I want to wake up in the morning with a bloody chest for no apparent reason.
Yep.
Talking about bloody chests, gloves, masks, and hats, that pretty much wraps up the tweet of the week.
Yeah,
right?
and that's a lot of random stuff.
It is a lot of random stuff, but it makes sense because our next segment is Random Select.
Random Select.
So my random select for the week is probably as far from fighting games as you can get. It's the latest Justin Timberlake album.
And that is pretty far from fighting games.
the 2020 Experience. It's a really cool album. I don't listen to a whole lot of mainstream pop, but obviously it's Justin Timberlake. It's fun songs you could dance to. Production's amazing. His vocals are amazing. But what I really love are the structure of the songs. There's 10 songs and they're pretty long, and they start off more club friendly and just happy, and then they kind of go into really interesting creative places. So it's just as good to listen to at a party as it is just like chilling in your headphones, really getting into the music. So strongly recommend it for anyone.
I need to download that. I've been waiting so long because I love Future Sex Love Sounds. I actually am a fan of JT, and I haven't had a chance to really listen to the album, which brings me to my random select of the week. My random select of the week is sleep. Yes, sleeping. Between doing 2 overnights back to back to my job staying up till 10 a.m. to go pick up Gears of War Judgment and Dead or Alive 5+ for the Vita, going to sleep, to wake up, to shoot this. I need sleep. Like, a bed would be nice, pillows.
You'll hate hearing this, but your whole journey, the overnights, the picking up games, you sound like Ryu, man. You're just on this never-ending path. You need to stop.
See, the difference between me and Ryu is I have shoes and I have a wardrobe. I do not wear the same outfit every day, and I don't carry a giant sack. I know that sack has money in it. He's just mad stingy, and he doesn't want to spend any of it. So Ryu, buy some shoes. Go to Skechers, get some shape-ups. I know you got tons of money in that giant sack.
Definitely, and hopefully by Street Fighter 5, Ryu has some fresh kicks. We'll have to wait and see. And I think that wraps it up for this episode of Fight Your Rival.
I think it does. I can't believe you try to pull that Ryu star on me. You know I don't like it. Yeah.
I was very touched by your story, but as hard as you've been working, I think you need to get some sleep, dude.
Alright, so before I get some sleep, this is Natal from Fight Your Rival.
This is Mike from Fight Your Rival.
And remember, guys,
keep fighting.
keep sleeping.